Thank you all for being here. When we hatched this plan, it wasn't that long ago, a few months ago, I said to Kara, but it's not that much notice. Is anyone going to come? And she said, they're going to come, and look, like you all came. It started on March 13, 2016 at 3:30 p.m. when he sent me a text. He was a freshman at UC Berkeley. He's the eldest of our 4 children. We also have 3 daughters. So he'd gone off to college that fall. We had known he was not doing well, but we didn't know the extent of it until I got this text. Going through a profound enlightenment, can't think straight. I know these texts seem weird because they are coming straight from my body. And that began our journey, what Pete Early, who wrote a book about his own son's journey in bipolar disorder, calls a journey through America's mental health madness. And that became the day that we were the family that people needed to bring casseroles to, but of course nobody brought casseroles because you don't talk about a bipolar diagnosis. He spent 10 days in the psychiatric hospital at Stanford. He was 5150'd. He was released on 20 milligrams of Zyprexa, which is a second-generation anti-psychotic, and a diagnosis of bipolar 1 with psychotic features. And that, it was supposed to be a manic episode. We knew it was a manic episode right when we got that text. I basically Googled his symptoms, and I could tell that what was happening. And the bipolar 1 diagnosis, we accepted, but his psychiatrist, who was a Stanford-trained psychiatrist, kind of decided that it might have been just a one-time psychotic break, which we were super happy to hear. Maybe our son does not have a lifelong mental illness. Maybe he just had a psychotic break. It could have been this, could have been that, and maybe he's okay. His doctor tapered him off of olanzapine and basically went back to college in the fall, pretty much unmedicated. By October, he was in another full-blown manic psychosis. We brought him home. He was hospitalized at El Camino for 2 weeks. He was released. Every time he was released, he started smoking cigarettes again. It took me months of Googling before I finally figured out that smoking cigarettes can interfere with Zyprexa blood levels. Some say up to 80%. So every time he started smoking, when he got out of the hospital, he got manic again, and then he had to go back in the hospital. And then finally we decided it's not working to have him at home. Series of residential treatment programs all around the country. And the pattern was he would get better for a little while, then he would get released, then he would feel bad, then he would go off his medication, then he would get hospitalized again. It's a pattern that I know many of you in this room are familiar with. He once recorded himself flushing his lithium down the toilet on a Greyhound bus and posted that on Snapchat. And then we were able to locate him. Dave got on a plane, flew down. He had given away most of his belongings. He'd lost 20 pounds. He was barefoot, and he was holding a shopping bag with his phone and his computer, which he had managed to hang on to for those 2 weeks. We got him hospitalized again in San Diego, and he was there 2 weeks. The fact that he had shared this journey on the internet was, of course, terrible at the time. But it turned out to be a blessing, because once he was medicated again and he came out of his psychosis, he looked at those videos and he said, I never, ever want to be manic again. What do I need to do? That was almost 4 years ago. And even though he started doing everything he needed to do, everything, he did not get well. He got better, but he did not get well. He meditated daily. We got him a new psychiatrist, Dr. Po Wong at Stanford, who's treating him now. He got a new therapist. He did DBT, he did CBT. He quit drinking. He quit smoking. He quit alcohol. He quit marijuana. He exercised daily. He managed his sleep. He wore blue light blocking gases, and he still was not well.